you, Mr. Chair. Healthcare workers, first responders, employees of essential businesses are working daily to serve us and protect us. They are having to pay for childcare because children are not in school because we closed schools due to the COVID-19 pandemic. If you count the school day as well as before and after care programs, this often adds up to 50 hours a week of child supervision per child that has unexpectedly disappeared. Having to shoulder this hefty new cost can be harsh on a family's budget and adds to the stress of an already hectic situation if you are an essential worker during this crisis. And oftentimes families maybe relied on a grandparent or some other family member who watched their kids before or after school, but are now unable to do that because of the risk COVID-19 poses for older adults. The proposal we've brought forward, represented here in Agenda Item 15, requests your support to allocate $5 million of County of San Diego CARES Act funding to support emergency child care vouchers for essential workers and vulnerable populations. To carry out this proposal, I am suggesting that we partner with the YMCA Child Resource Services and Child Development Associates to administer the funds. These two entities have experience locally distributing child care vouchers through an existing contract with the state child care voucher program for low-income workers, which was recently extended to COVID-19 essential workers by the governor in April. By joining into an existing program, we'll be leveraging the system infrastructure and the operators, having the YMCA and CDA administer the program using similar family eligibility and prioritization criteria that are already in place, rates and other program guidelines detailed in the California Department of Education Early Childhood Learning and Education Division Management Bulletin, which is issued when the program expanded eligibility and funding to COVID-19 essential workers. In this proposal, child care vouchers will remain available to San Diegans until the funds are fully exhausted or by December 30th, 2020, whichever comes first. The need continues to be great, and new funding since the COVID crisis is drying up as quickly as it is made available, and there are many being put on waiting lists for vouchers. This includes the $5.1 million that the governor allocated to this program. 1 week ago, local child care voucher applicants opened up due to the new state money, and the fund is already exhausted and new applications are closed. Over the past week, 1,514 families with 97% representing essential workers and 3% representing at-risk families per the eligibility criteria outlined in this board letter were not able to achieve services. Some of you may be aware the COVID Children's Fund supported by the philanthropy and provides one-time micro grants to San Diego families struggling. This fund, separate from the one we're talking about today, is also exhausted and has a wait list. To further convey the real struggles that families are grappling with, I would like to, in a moment, show a brief video testimony of individuals explaining their current circumstances and how the utilization of $5 million in federal CARES Act money can help our region get through this. Before we get to that, I would just like to say a special thank you to all of the groups that have been instrumental in supporting this effort and helping us craft it and shape it. That includes CAL FIRE, San Diego County Firefighters, Local 2881, San Diego City Firefighters, Local 145, the YMCA Downtown Partnership, SEIU, UHW, UDW, San Diegans for Every Child, and a wide variety of additional folks who have joined us in supporting this program and would request your consideration for support. With that, if we could show the video.
I have been having a lot of childcare struggles. I've exhausted my efforts to try and find childcare. A lot of people are quarantined. We usually use family and friends, but they are not allowed to leave their houses at this time. We are limited on resources. We are frustrated. We are nervous about our financial situation. and we currently have no options for us at this point.
We have 2 daughters, and they are 8 and 9. And the school closures have had a huge impact on our lives. It's a huge financial burden because we're looking for someone to not just babysit, but also to help with schoolwork and spend large chunks of time with our kids. And so it's unfortunately added a lot of stress to our lives during an already stressful time. If there was any assistance with that, that would be huge. That would be a huge relief for our family in trying to kind of navigate this crazy time.
My husband and I have been greatly affected. We both work for the same police department. We have 3 children together, ages 7, 5, and 1. Before the closures, obviously, the 7 and the 5-year-old went to school, and my mother, who is 72, would assist us with childcare during the day for my 1-year-old. Then the closures happened, so we had nowhere for them to go, and obviously with the recommendation of elders to shelter in place, that left us with my mom no longer available to help us either. With the thought of having to pay for childcare for 3 children is a huge financial burden for us. And especially with 1-year-old in diapers, they're more expensive. So it's been trying for us to have to think about paying for 3 children.
I have 2 kids. I'm a single father. One's 11, one is 14. You would think that that'd be easy for them to watch each other, but that's not true. I've been paying my niece, who is 17 years old, to watch my kids about $100 a week. Not to mention, I start work at 7. I got to get up about 5 in the morning, drive over to Oceanside, go pick up my niece to bring her back to my house. There are days that I don't even get home until 8 o'clock at night, and I've had a 17-year-old watching 2 kids for that amount of time. $100 a week doesn't even justify what she should be paid, nor what a teacher would be paid for a salary for each week. It's extremely stressful to go to work and focus on taking care of others when you are limited on taking care of your own family. It's very, very excruciating to be at home and receiving phone calls multiple times, interrupting your day, text messages, you're not focused. We just need the help.